showing it? I ain't did it in so long. Do we even get a notification for it? Did I even hit it right? Did I do it right?
It's live.
I can't even, on my other phone, I can't even see it. Okay. Let's see what it at least look like. Close that. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Been a minute, shawty. Ain't too bad, right?
I can't see. Can they see us?
I can
Oh, I
see
see
it
it
on the
now.
phone. So I know it's on there. Ain't too bad, right? I feel crazy, bro. Just trying to even figure it out and get it together. Yo,
Peace, family.
let me try to see what it sound like.
Hey, y'all.
You can see people in there?
I'm trying to get in.
What it sound like though?
Peace, family. Can y'all hear us good? Put a like in it, or let us know y'all can hear us good.
You don't know. I can hear it. It's good, I think. What it sound like though?
Peace, family. Can y'all hear us good? Put a like in it, or let us know y'all can hear us good. I'm trying to get in.
I can hear it. It's good, I think. Oh man.
Peace, family. Can y'all hear us good? Put a like in it, or let us know y'all can hear us good. Oh, there we go. Hey y'all, I see y'all in the chat.
I'll let you handle all that. You know I ain't got my glasses on, so ain't no need me even trying.
Happy Sunday, y'all.
What up, though?
I see y'all. I see you, Lovely
Let
Bree,
me turn this down.
Swan King, Joe Wilson. Hey, Saloa.
Hey, sis, what's happening?
Go Phoenix. Hey.
Already know.
It has been a minute.
Hey, man.
It has been a minute.
Hey,
They said
man,
loud and
say,
clear.
man.
They said we better be staying out of trouble. I didn't know we was doing that much stuff.
Trouble don't find us, bro. You gotta be able to shake that off if you want to. How you feel comfortable? You ain't never take your trash out up here, so if you want to be up here, I guess you can.
Don't do that.
You have to put your little short legs over the trash bag.
See, putting me all on Front Street. Don't do that.
I'm just saying, bro.
I guess we holding the mic.
You can hold it. I mean, you can pin it on the inside if you wanted to. But I need you on, comments and being able to see.
That's all right. I can hold it.
Kind of good stuff.
I can hold it.
What up, though?
Happy Sunday, y'all. It's been a minute.
Yeah, let's just, I guess, let's take it back. Let me center myself.
What?
Yo, you already know what it is, man. It's your boy Mo 804.
And your girl Connie. That's so sad.
Yeah, we ain't said that in a while.
Right.
Yeah, we just sliding through, man. I ain't even just say sliding through. We purposefully, intentionally wanted to come on today. Or been wanting to come on for a minute. Me and Gold Phoenix had a quick back and forth a few days ago in regards to making content again and kind of if it was worth it and if we even felt like doing it. And, we see a lot of trucking is dead videos. I just literally typed in the word trucking about 30 minutes ago, and probably out of 6 or 7 out of 10 videos, it was, is it still worth it type of deal, that whole spiel. People have been having those type of conversations for a while when it comes to our industry. And so
he said he's still debating.
I know. Well,
my camera batteries just in case.
Hey, my man. Well, we've always tried to lean more towards the team aspect of the industry, since that's kind of what we do and how we've been doing it. Because for a lot of y'all that don't know, like it's popping on 9 years right now.
Right. Speaking of that,
To everybody that comes on here that's new to our channel, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for rocking with us. I'm Connie.
It's your boy Moito Fo, man.
And
You
thank y'all
already
for
know.
coming over here. Forgive us. We ain't been out here putting out no content, but hopefully we had something on our page from our journey that you've been able to glean from.
Back in the day,
When I was young. I ain't doing
yeah,
it.
we're not kids anymore. So we kind of just been, kind of just trying to decide if we wanted to get back into the space. You know, not for a monetary thing. I'm not on here. Don't cash at me nothing. Don't hit nothing in the what is it called? Don't put nothing in the chat or whatever it's called. Like that ain't what this is, and that's never been what this is. It's you know, she was talking to me here recently, like what was my purpose or what
Vision.
was my vision of Married to the Miles, and how we came up with the concept and the idea. Like, you know, what was that these days? And honestly, I told you that it wasn't. Um, it's not something that I really think about like that anymore. Um, but I didn't really know why. You know, I harp on the fact that, you know, we are in the industry now, or a part of the industry now, that kind of limits what we can show, because we was in the beginning, we showed a lot of our travels, where we were, what we were doing, what we were eating. You developed a cookbook. Like, we were really trying to give, you know, a well multifaceted look at what we did and how we did it.
We was talking about lifestyle and just our journey in and of itself out here on the road.
Yeah, and at that time also, you know, we were collaborating and a part of more of a YouTube family conglomerate when it came to, you know, content and showing content, and it had a element of fun to it. It had an element of, you know, I don't want to say competition, but an element that just, you know, we were all trying to put ourselves in a position to be seen and to be heard. And I guess over a time period of doing that, I guess a lot of us probably lost the genuine love for it, in a sense. And just like anything else you do for a while, you can develop a lack of interest for it. I think that comes with anything, whether it's a new car, new house, whatever. You know, you start off on a good high, and you may even ride that high for a while, but over time, things can fizzle out, especially if your purpose or motivation for doing it ain't at your core.
Yeah, that goes back. That goes back to vision. You
Okay.
know, when I had brought that up to you, I was saying it because I'm out here because of your vision, right? So if I notice that you don't have the vision, then I'm not necessarily going to have the vision, because my vision is to help with your vision. You
Right.
know, in this is for this. And it gets hard. You know, you have moments where it's just like, okay, you have to come back to the table and revisit the vision, and see if it is, if you need to add to, if you need to take from, like how do you respark it, how do you refresh it, maybe even shift it and change it, because we're not who we were 9 years ago. You know what I mean? Some of the topics and the conversations, some of the footage, the things that we were willing to be very vulnerable about and transparent might not be that same space now, even though we still gonna be vulnerable and transparent with y'all. But at the same token, we 9 years in this now, so it's just a little different.
Yeah, I completely agree. So that's why, you know, we've been super inconsistent over the past few years when it comes to content. So I'm not going to even give the whole spiel of, you know, we back. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to commit to
We
doing
got a
anything.
bunch of those videos if you want to check those out.
Yeah.
If you be honest.
We've made a lot of pre-recorded videos. That's why I kind of wanted this to be a live one, because it's going to kind of force our feet to the fire to a degree versus
I
doing,
like
because
that.
we've made quite a few videos that are pre-recorded types that may have taken a little edit in and stuff like that, and that have never seen the light of day just because I just never uploaded it. I never had the passion and the drive to go through the process that it used to take to put out content. You know, if you follow us on Instagram at Married to the Mouse, or follow me on Instagram at Mo804, or you follow her on Instagram at The Real Connie, you'd be seeing, or would have been able to see, you know, some of our activities and movements and things and travels over the past few years.
Speaking of that, I'm gonna catch some of y'all comments.
Yeah, please, don't let me get the rambling on
No,
here.
you're not
'Cause
rambling.
no,
You're
I'm
not
just,
rambling. I
I
just
really
thought
want
this
to make
was a
sure
good
that
time to interject.
that the people who either know us or
Right.
found us recently that haven't seen us really do our thing, I want to make sure we recognize them. So go ahead.
Right. And this was a good time to interject. Gold Phoenix said that honestly, if y'all did day in the life things on your home time, it would probably go crazy. That's crazy you said that, because our daughter was just saying like y'all should do a day in the life, like separately, together, all these things. They were just talking about that, so that's
'Cause,
right
yeah,
on point.
those who follow us for real,
Um,
y'all know we does our thing. But go ahead.
Shamarcus Dickinson Logistics says
What up? What up? What up? What up?
congratulations to 9 years. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
What's the name again?
Shamarcus. I hope I'm
Shamarcus.
saying that right. Dickinson Logistics said congratulations to 9 years.
Appreciate you.
And Saloa said facts. Sincerely yours, Nadia, said new subby here. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for coming over. The title says in Team Trucking Worth the Sacrifice. Are you guys still enjoying teaming? I'm interested in the topic.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, definitely. That's definitely where we lead
What's her name?
into.
What's the name?
This is, I want to say Nadia. Nadia, sincerely yours, Nadia. I like that.
Nadia, hold your horses. Hold your horses. Stay
We
tuned.
definitely
Stay tuned, 'cause here we
came
go.
on here to talk about is Team Trucking worth the sacrifice, for sure.
Yeah, but I just wanted to get, I guess,
So pin that there. Pin that there.
the initial rambling out the way, just because we do know we owe a lot of people in a way, you know, that we had a lot of support and have a lot of support from a lot of people for a long time. Not even just strictly truckers, but just in general, we've had a lot of support, a lot of help. You know, we've been
Definitely.
involved in a lot of camaraderie. We've just been involved in doing what we can do to move the industry forward from a hood perspective, from a urban perspective, just letting
From an underdog's perspective.
Oh, facts. Just letting the world know, you know, the capabilities and just the general ability that we all have as black people that can get into an industry that we know has been a predominantly male and white-led industry probably for years. You know, all of us have, even though we've been in the industry 9 years, it's still new, and it was new when we got into it. Just the whole, you know, urban element and seeing Timbos and locks at truck stops. This is new. Trust me, it's still a lot of people that's in this game right now that when they see us in mass, it does a little something to their spirit. Trust me when I tell you. So I just wanted to make sure that we touch on the fact that, you know, we know there's a lot of growth that have taken place and still a lot of growth still to do going forward. So we want to make sure we touch on we give our proper salutes and proper thank yous to those who followed us in the past, because we've had a lot of followers over the past few years, and our content has been so minute that it's strictly off of what we've done in the past to why people have even followed our page at all. We've gotten run into by people who, you know, give us the shout outs and give us the props of, you know, that we're some of the reasons why they came out here, why they're teaming, why they got into trucking in general. And even though I don't take it for granted, I think I still took it for granted.
Hey, D Major.
What up, my
Hey
brother?
there.
You already know what it is.
Saloa says, and this is an amazing team trucking couple out here, y'all. If y'all don't know,
Facts.
um, the
I think they're still in
influence.
Canada.
Yeah, they in
If I
Canada
don't
right
know,
now,
if I,
getting to that money.
yeah, if I ain't
Um,
specific.
the influence. She says, the influence has been made in 9 years. Y'all have definitely left a print out here. We appreciate it. That's actually the only reason why we started Married to the Miles. The only reason, so that we could really just allow people to walk with us, you know,
Yeah,
and just see like what it is, because we didn't even know what it was.
facts.
Goldfinger said, I've even noticed more black people getting into specialized sides of the industry. Love it.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so I guess as Kevin Samuels would say, that get rid of, we're eliminating or we finished with the monologue.
Not yet, because I need to say one thing.
Oh, hey,
And I don't know if
hey,
this
don't let me
person,
step on your
I don't know if
toes.
she gonna show up, but today is my bestie birthday. So happy birthday,
Deuce.
Candace. I love you. I hope you have an amazing day. I'm gonna call you later. Love you, girl.
She may not see this, but hey, she may.
She may.
Deuce, happy birthday, baby. Um, what do we name this again?
um, this was titled Team Trucking. Is Team Trucking worth the sacrifice? And we're gonna give that to Nadia. She made sure she let us know that.
Okay. Without
Is Team Trucking worth the sacrifice?
any equivocation. I think I learned that word from Will Smith in the movie Enemy of the State. I can't think of why they asked him a question, but he used the word or the term no equivocation. Absolutely it is.
I agree.
I would also like to add to that, we were just speaking of, I think I kind of threw her off. I used the term or the analogy of the butter knife trucker. And she was like, what are you talking about? And and it hit me as I was riding down, because we're kind of in the middle of a load right now. We have our delivery that needs to be delivered by early a.m. tomorrow morning, which will be Monday. But we're also picking up from that same location tomorrow morning also. So we got in the general area yesterday, and I didn't feel like getting to that receiver just because they're in the middle of nowhere, and I didn't want to have to double back. There's no hotels, there's none of that kind of stuff in the area, and I didn't want to have to double back on Monday to make the pickup, but I also didn't want to go to that area, make the delivery, and be in the middle of nowhere either for last night and throughout today. So we were able to put our load here at one of our terminals in a safe hold, and we're going to grab it back out probably once we finish this live, get that dropped off, and just spend the night tonight. But I wanted to do the hotel thing last night.
Which was amazing.
But skirt past that.
Oh, let me say this before you finish. Hold
Okay.
that thought.
Okay.
Joe Wilson says, I've been following you when you started out with Swift and RST,
Appreciate
and
you,
when
bro.
you bought your first and your
Hey.
second truck.
Hey.
Proud of you both. Thank you so much. Goldfinger said 100% worth it, the sacrifice. And Saloa said, definitely worth the sacrifice.
Agreed. um,
I'm going to come from the side of the
It-
sacrifices.
when
He gonna keep
when
going
I was
that way.
speaking about the butter knife trucker, we all look at a butter knife. It is a knife. The origin of the word is knife. So it is a butter knife. So it has the duty of being able to cut things or sever in some form of fashion. But we also know that the butter knife is a lonely knife. It sits in a drawer, and its only real duty is to smooth out butter or make a hell of a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. But when you really need a knife, no one chooses the butter knife. You may can use a butter knife to take care of that flathead screw, but no one carries a butter knife in a toolbox. The butter knife is very limited in its abilities, in its usage. Don't be the butter knife trucker. Meaning, don't be the trucker that all you can do is one trick. What they call it, one trick ponies. Like, don't be the butter knife trucker that all you can do is the simplest of things, but still want to have issue with not being paid accordingly. Don't be the trucker. Now, you said, even when I was speaking of this earlier to you, you was like, well, we all have to start somewhere. Very true. But once
That's not what you're saying.
no, but once you get some skin in the game, don't still be the butter knife. Develop the skills to become the Swiss Army knife. Develop the skills to be the small socket set. Develop the skills to be, the biggest tool in the box. Because that elevation, that growth creates a need for you,
It makes you valuable.
a value for you. No one gives much credit to the butter knife. If I was in a bind and in a pinch and I needed a weapon and I went into my drawer of knives, no one grabs the butter knife. It's dull. Its ability is so minor that you wouldn't even consider the butter knife. Its duties and abilities are so minor and minute that it gets no play. Like the boy said on Boys in the Hood, that gets no play in this ride. Don't be the trucker and your abilities 2-3 years in is basically the same as they were when you graduated school.
Right.
Because anybody could bump a basic dock and deliver toilet paper. Anybody could do those type of jobs. They're meaningful. We need them. Butter gotta be spread. Yes, you don't want to use your finger. You possibly could, but it's nasty.
Please don't.
Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches gotta be made.
Yeah.
That's a staple in the American way, is a peanut butter jelly sandwich. You gotta be able to spread the jam. It has a use. It has a need. It's in the fabric of what we do. Yes, it is a knife. But when people need something done and they're willing to pay for something, they don't call on the butter knife.
Right.
They call on those who are affluent and sharp in different aspects that can do everything that they need them to do. So don't be the butter knife trucker. Or will it be beneficial to you? No.
I was sitting here when you were saying that. I was thinking about our assistant bro, D
Did I
Major.
ramble again?
No.
My bad.
D Major and Saloa, they're a team married couple out here, and just thinking about what you're talking about not being that. They are the epitome of being a team that has really expanded their careers in the trucking industry.
Talk about it.
The wife, Saloa, his D Major's wife, she has multiple streams of income, not just one. She has multiple endorsements, not just one. And so does her husband, and they even have their authority. So they have really come out here in a short time, because even though we've been out here 9 years, I don't know, Saloa, D Major, maybe y'all can mention how long y'all been out here, but it 9 years is not a long time. It may feel like it, but to be a veteran out here, that's not a veteran. You know what I mean? And they have really maximized that. So really what he's saying is, let's maximize where you are. It's so funny because when he started talking to me, I wish we had the camera on when he started talking to me about butter knife trucker, because I was completely green and didn't know what the heck he was talking about. So it took a minute just for me to grab a hold of what he was talking about, but I get it now. And it is one of those things where you have to realize that you can't put all your eggs in one basket. Would you say that's similar like that, like not putting all your eggs in one basket?
Facts. Like a lot of people, D Major, and we keep bringing them up, so I want to make sure people recognize the importance of people, even if they ain't all YouTube and all of that. These are people that we personally know. He expressed to me one time, and I had never heard anybody say this, that, CDL schools teach you to get your license. They don't teach you to drive the truck. You gain the experience from driving the truck by actually being out here and going through it. A
Right.
school can't put you in enough scenarios and situations to compare it to what you're going to deal with out here on the road for real.
Facts.
Like, they teach you to get your driver's license. That's it.
Yeah.
Go ahead. What you about to say?
No, I was gonna say, and Nadia, we still haven't forgot the topic about is trucking worth the sacrifice. I'm gonna talk on the sacrifice side, and he gonna build on that. But
Well,
we both gonna talk about it, but it is a lot of major sacrifices.
it's alluding to it in general.
Right,
While
and
speaking
we-
about the sacrifice, because you want the sacrifice is getting your tanker endorsement. The sacrifice is studying to get your hazmat. It's a little harder to get it now than it was years ago, but if you want it, you gotta go have to sacrifice to go get it. Like, team trucking within itself, outside of the endorsements and the elevation of trucking, is difficult within itself. Trying to get rest while the truck is in motion, the team aspect of someone quote unquote taking the lead and taking charge and making decisions. You can't be indecisive out here. So, people have to be delegated certain things in order to make the ship go. I'm just speaking of in general, period, the sacrifices, but overall, is trucking itself still a valid and valuable industry to even be in? And I say yes, but you got to put yourself in position to maximize what is out here. Shipping companies and trucking companies every day is trying to figure out ways to lower and decrease what they pay the drivers to keep the bread as much as they can. That's business. Business has always been that way. And if you can get something done for the low, that's business. Buy low, sell high. That's the fabric or the core of what business is as a whole. I just want to make sure I deliver the proper message that no matter what it is that you're doing, whether it's trucking or in the industry for that matter, if all you're going to do is be the low man on the totem pole, if all you're going to do is know the basics of whatever that is, you'll never maximize the potential of what you have. You can't go. There's a difference between a college graduate and a high school graduate. There's a difference between a basic college graduate and a master's PhD person. Like, there's elevations and levels to any and everything. So I just want to make sure.
He used to always say that. Shout out to
Facts.
him.
I just want to make sure I let it be known the seriousness of not staying stuck in one position, or you will become one of the crybabies out here. We all see them, we all know them, we all know individuals in life, period, that don't maximize what it is, but have the most to say about what they can't get or don't have. So I just want to make sure I speak on that. Now, if you want to go and speak on direct sacrifices, because that was a woman asking that question, so
yeah.
I'm sure she wants to know
but I mean,
some female elements to that.
Yeah, it's two sides to it, because it's the sacrifice in the career itself, but as a woman, a wife, a mother, all the things out here, there is another sacrifice that goes along with teaming, which is your life sacrifice. I know we're talking about team trucking, and I know that this video is just going to be the first of many that we're going to build from this topic of sacrificing. But for me personally, I say yes, that it is a sacrifice for me. But when I speak of the sacrifices, I'm specifically speaking to the individual life sacrifices I've had to make and continue to make in order to build in this career. Um, Being out here as a team, being out here with my husband, away from family, friends, community, and the things that make my life full. You know what I mean? Um, it's a sacrifice, and sometimes it's a heavy, hard
Wait.
weight
Yeah.
that goes along with the sacrifice. But if to not be long-winded, because I know we're going to keep building, and I want to get to some of the answers and the the comments and everything. The only way I can put it that makes it clearer to who's listening, and Nadia, I just want to keep making sure I say that, is you will have to know where I come from to know how much this sacrifice is worth it. Because this whole page, this team trucking, this us, everything goes back to where I came from, where he came from, where we came from together. And there is lots of videos on our page where we share those things, and we're going to revisit it. But you have to make up in your mind before you agree to do anything and step in any lane, before you get married to any type of miles. Because married to the miles is not just team trucking. Married to the miles is being married to what your lane is to get you where you're going, to get you to the other side of where you're at. And you have to be married to that, and then you have to think about those sacrifices going in. There's a couple videos that we have on our page called what is it called, babe, about team trucking?
I don't know.
Things
It's
to
been so long
consider.
ago.
Things to consider before teaming.
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
so
yes, 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 yes.
what do you need to consider before you decide to say, I'm coming out here and I'm gonna be a trucker or a team trucker? And that does not just mean what you have to do on the truck, in the truck, for your trucking career. It's not just that. That is a huge part of it, but then there's a whole nother side that you have to consider. How it's going to affect your life, how it's going to affect your community, your relationships, your money, your household, where you live at. Some of us have moved multiple times, because we've had to make decisions that the decision of becoming a team trucker moved us to. And most of us are not the same people we were when we decided to get into trucking in any capacity. If you are, you stuck, and you need to go back and you need to reevaluate some things. There's no way you should still be the same person that you were, period. Last year, yesterday, whatever. But I'm saying that to say that the sacrifices are many, and it don't stop. The sacrifices don't stop. If you have decided that, hey, I'm gonna be a team trucker, I'm gonna be a trucker, then you already know that every day you're sacrificing. One, for being out here. You're sacrificing all of the other areas in your Pacific life, in your life. Because our story might not look like your story, and you may not have come from what we come from, but you're building, you're elevating, you're making those sacrifices. Just like he was saying about the videos that we have put out before about vision and things like that. It's a sacrifice. It's more of a sacrifice now for us to create content, to show up, to be vulnerable, to be transparent, because there's more weighing. There's more weighing on what we say, how we say it, and how we present ourselves. Because now there's influence behind what we do. There is leadership behind what we're doing. Whereas in the beginning, we came out here as newbies trying to figure things out in a lane that we had never been in. Now that we're out here, we didn't ask for it, but somebody else is looking like, hey, you got something we need. You an answer to a problem, or you a solution to something, and we're like, are we?
Facts.
I mean, we realize it to a degree, but in the most humblest way, we're forever learning this thing out. You know what I mean? I can say that I believe that it's the favor of God that has been on our life, our trucking career, and just the amazing people that we have, like y'all. You know what I mean? Just even still, letting us know that we're making impact, because before it was inspiration, but inspiration without impact ain't it.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Inspiration should lead to impact, and now we're on the impact side of it, and we're just, wanting to bring y'all real value. And as you get older, you start to realize, like he said, eh, eh, we just ain't about the fluff. And I ain't saying what we did in the beginning was fluff, but it was more fun, it was more exciting. Anything when you first started is new, it's exciting, it's different. It comes with all the oohs and the ahs. But then after a while, it's like newlyweds. You know what I mean? Once that stuff settled down, why we doing this?
Yeah.
Why we doing it for real? And I did go longer than I said I was
Oh,
gonna
you're
go.
fine.
So let me catch some of these. Did you want to say anything?
No, go
All
ahead. I
right, let
can
me
wait.
catch some of y'all comments. Gold Phoenix said it's the tool you use in a pinch, but not preferred. And he said the trucker who only has a taker endorsement with nothing else. No, I get it. And you know what? You saying that just adds to the reason why it's helping with the reason why content is necessary. This is another sacrifice. You're gonna sacrifice um some areas dealing with mental health. You got to stay on top of it, because there's a difference between being in solitude and being isolated. They lead to two different places, and we can have that conversation later, but I'll just give you a little
Go
bit
there.
of it.
Go there. We here now.
Solitude is a choice that you make for your own reasons. It could be to refresh yourself, it could be to reset yourself, it could be to get your thoughts together, shut the noise out, come back to who you are, because we live in a different narrative. Our life is different, right?
I like that.
But isolation is and solitude is a choice. That's what you choose to do. But isolation is when things have allowed you to say, I need to retreat, because it could be anxiety, it could be frustration, it could be depression, it could be sadness, it could be loneliness. And don't get me wrong, everybody has experienced these things, but if you get into that leads to a depressive state, which can cause you to be stuck and stagnant. And it's easy to get there out here on the road. So I mentioned that because Gold Phoenix said the trucker who only has a trucking endorsement with nothing else. Don't be that. If all you have is a trucking endorsement and it's not getting you where you need to go, and your money is not where it needs to be, then spend the time that you're out here on the road building. You know what I mean? Work on your craft. And working on your craft and trucking don't mean you got to drive the truck. That's inevitable. You're going to do that anyway. But working on your craft is seeking out, coming on pages like Nadia came over here to see what we were talking about, to see about the sacrifices, find out what other people are doing, get in communities, do those things. So I'm just going on with that. So
that's what I was going to add on. That was the beauty in the initial trucking community and
like you always talk about.
that was being built years ago. That was the element or area that we enjoyed the most, being able to have outlets to ask questions, to talk to different truckers, whether they were solos or teams or whatever, that had experienced different things, like being able to call on people with certain knowledge and get answers to be able to make decisions without having to bump your head.
Facts.
A lot of times, you don't have places to go to get answers. And by the time you go through all the hoops to find out that answer, you may have been beat down to the point now
Facts.
that I don't even want to do it no more.
Facts.
When, you know, just having outlets that could kind of help you and lead you through certain situations without you physically having to go through them or mentally having to go through them, because that's probably the most important
I
part.
hope y'all didn't hear me burp because that was so rude. I'm sorry,
Huh?
y'all. I kind of burped. I was like, I hope they didn't hear me burp. I was like, that's
You
so
got the
rude.
mic to your mouth while you
I
burp.
kind of had the mic up here like this.
She trifling, bro. I tell her this all the time.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
But just, that's one of the reasons. That's why I said in the beginning, we feel like we kind of left people on red,
Yeah.
because we know, especially at this point, 9 years in the game. Because she even asked me, like, you know, about just doing this again in a awful and selfish way. I literally had come to a full understanding that I didn't have much interest in new drivers coming in the game. They'd almost have to just get it how they live. And that's a foul way of looking at things, especially when I had the outlets early that helped me through. I kind of felt like, I was kind of being selfish with it and egotistical with it, and just not being who I know I am. And that's a giver. That's someone that's,
Yeah.
you can't find nobody who know me that could tell you they could call upon me for anything that I know how to do, and I wouldn't be there for them. There's nobody, you can't find nobody on planet Earth that'll ever tell you I ain't look out or break bread in some form or fashion. If I know how to do something and you are somebody who's important to me in any way, I'm gonna go the extra mile for you. I've always been that kind of person. And
Let me interject on that in the most humblest way. You are absolutely telling the truth about yourself. And when you said that, when you were saying those things, I knew that wasn't your heart. I think that this goes back to what we was talking about, solitude and isolation. Sometimes it can get you in spaces and you just got to recognize when you're in it. And that's why I kept coming to you about vision, because my goal as your wife was to build you up and let you see that what you're saying ain't it. Not to beat you down, but I needed you to come to that realization on your own, because you have. And I want to correct you on this. You do a lot of things for people that you love, but I've seen you do even more for people you don't even know. I've seen you pull this truck over to help people, to go out of your way to help people. So it's not that. It's just this trucking, being in here like this, we make we make what's not normal in order to be out here on the road. That's our sacrifice. It is not normal to live in a truck. I don't care what nobody say.
Facts.
It's not normal to live in this type of truck. If we had a super sleeper with a shower, a toilet, all of the things that comprise of having a house, then it would be more normal, but it still wouldn't be the normal. The normal is being in a home that's still on the ground and not moving. So this is what I meant by the sacrifice. So I interjected because I appreciate you being humble and putting yourself up, but I don't want you to beat yourself up, because it's the truth is all of us have those moments where we don't have it to give, and we got to recognize that and come back to us so that we can get that life-giving source back in us. You know what I mean?
I do.
Okay, more comments, y'all. Hi, lovely Bree J.
Agree?
She says, great analogy. This analogy applies to everything in life. And Saloa said, all y'all, thanks for teaming. She said they've been in teaming for 6 years. Congratulations.
Facts.
And she said, trust, for me, y'all influenced me to want to team. Aw. And Gold Phoenix said, frankly, y'all the reason I'm even teaming with my old lady. Good work.
Well, and that's a beautiful thing.
Yes. Congratulations to y'all. He
Because-
said,
Go ahead.
Saloa said, where can you make this kind of money? Okay, come on now. Where can you make this kind of money to support and take care of your loved ones? have our lifestyle, etc., etc. We say all the time, everyone is not willing to make the sacrifice through missing stuff. Facts. Talk about that.
Yes.
D Major was saying it's a big sacrifice and it takes a lot to stay focused on the plan. That's the
And
vision.
see,
That's the vision.
that is one. It's going to be a sacrifice on the bond. When we speak of married to the miles, like I'm looking at, I developed it or just thought about it just because I completely understand that a marriage is a bond. You're bonded together. Like, when you bond, when you weld, you're literally bonding two different pieces of metal together till they become one. Being bonded or being married, it's so difficult. And I'm not speaking of just the basic difficulties of marriage or a relationship, but at the same time I am. When you and your own thoughts and your own processes, your own way you evaluate, the way you see things, when you have to yoke, she spoke of the word last night, that's what made me think of it. When you yoke yourself or bond yourself or marry yourself to someone else, and you have to consider their thoughts, their feelings, their views. Not saying you got to change how you feel, think, or view, but it's the basic consideration of the two. That's hard enough within itself. And then you couple that with the space the size of your bathroom, and you're on this road, and there's so many emotions that come with being out here on the road. It slowed down for us now after 9 years because there's not too many places I go unless I'm way off a beaten path that I don't know what's around every corner to a degree. I got one of my brothers that got in the trucking a couple years now, and I wanted him to go OTR very bad, just because I felt like he would get and maximize the knowledge of trucking a lot quicker, maximize his money, as well as being able to travel and see the country. Like, I really wanted that for him, period. He got into the industry, but being away, being by himself, and I don't want to use the word fear, but the thought of not knowing what to expect, not knowing what's ahead, not knowing what's around the corner, that was too much for him. I ain't trying to belittle him in no way, but I guess I gotta speak as candid and frankly as I can think of. That was more than what he wanted to handle. He didn't like the fact of the unknown. So the first chance he went local, and he's still local right now. He enjoys his trucking experience, but I just felt like he kind of cut himself short, cut his experiences short, and cut his overall knowledge of what the industry is short, based off of the unwillingness to deal with the unknown. Because once the unknown is known, it's not unknown no more. Stuff is only an unsolved mystery until it's solved, and then the mystery is done. Once you know, you know. So I'm saying that to say, to know what's around every corner nowadays in my trucking experience, it slowed down the whole element of trucking. The whole aspect of this industry to me now is a lot simpler. That's why I would tell people who first get into trucking, a lot of times trucking companies will keep you in the same lanes and the same areas, and you can be like, dang, I'm tired of going to these same shippers, these same receivers, these same places. But they're kind of teaching you and learning you to be able to just maximize a small portion of the country, because it's a lot of highway out here, it's a lot of road out here. So don't rush yourself to trying to consume the whole country and every highway in every direction at once. Allow yourself to get into the game and work it a little bit, and go through the ups and downs and get your bumps and your bruises before you try to take it all on. because it's a weird thing to have yourself out in the middle of nowhere 2 3 in the morning. You can't see, you don't know where you are. As much as you might think it's not, to be out on this road weeks and weeks and months at a time, and you out here and don't know where you are, in a
Right.
rainstorm, snowstorm, whatever the
Telling you.
case may be, you got to be a certain type of person to continue on. I ain't
And you
saying you
got to be
can't
in
pull
tune
over
with your
and
teammate. Y'all got to work
yes.
together out here in
Well,
this
that's really
world.
where I wanted to go. I got myself completely off track, but
Let me say hey to my nephew, Deshaun. We see you.
they shun
Thanks for coming to
folks.
support,
But
Deshaun.
being able to, what up now? Being able to withstand the relationship while in a space this size is very much so a sacrifice within itself. Outside of the, because this trucking can destroy relationships. I've seen it. We've seen couples that started off that, my parents have told me we've been married 40 years, but there's no way I could drive a truck with your father. We kill each other. And a lot of people really feel that way. I mean, it may not be as literal as that, but there are relationships that will be so strained from this closeness and this just consistent being in arm reach of each other. A lot of people and a lot of relationships can last a long time because you go to work, she go to work. You got a set of friends, she got a set of friends. You work third shift, she work first shift. Y'all see each other in passing. Y'all might do a few things on the weekend, and y'all relationship withstands life and the test of time that way. Because y'all not around each other every day, all day.
Nah.
So a lot of times just being in team trucking period is a sacrifice. So if you can sacrifice that and make it through that, a lot of stuff gets a lot simpler.
That was good. That was all good. Hold on a second. I'm gonna get catch some of these comments. Hold on a second, y'all. Okay. Goldfina said my girlfriend literally moved halfway across the country, left her job
See?
that paid for her school, and moved in with me just for the opportunity to be able to build together. Okay, she's a keeper.
Facts.
She's a keeper.
Facts.
Shout out to her. It takes real guts to do all of that. Yes, that was her sacrifice, and um, for you too, knowing that she did that. So treat her right. Okay, we're gonna talk about that. D Major said, "Are you doing good, sis?" Yes, you're doing good. I am. I am. Saloa said, "Y'all preaching." Cass R. Hey, how are you? Nice to meet you. I don't think I remember seeing you on
Cass,
here.
like Kass or
Cass. I think
okay.
is that how you
Not
pronounce it?
CAS, not cast, but
Cass,
Cass.
Cash,
What up?
Cass, Cass. Yeah, she says, we're planning to start teaming next year. My happy place is on the road with him, but I've only been passenger princess till now. Y'all videos are so informative and honest. Oh, that's so sweet. Hey, I was a passenger princess too for about a month. And it is what helped me make the decision to come out here and team with him. Um,
Yep.
I like to hold my own. So a part of me couldn't just be out here and just be on a truck, which, I'm not saying that against anybody that's just rides with their husband, because you still have a job and you're still out here supporting your man, being what he need out here in this road. So ladies, do
Or
that.
vice
It's still
versa,
a
because there's
job.
a lot of women out here
Facts,
that
facts. But
leave
I
you
was
head in their
just
truck.
coming from a place that I really wanted to be out here, and just like, okay, well, it is a career. Let me add this under my belt too. So, and it was scary. It was scary. She said, "Do y'all have a list of companies other than Swift that will hire him as a trainer and me as his trainee like y'all did?" I can answer this. He may want to answer it too, but I'll say this: we really haven't been out here engaging, or I'll say me. I haven't been out here engaging with the new companies and what is going on nowadays. Um, any information that I would have about teaming or trucking and things like that really stems back that far back. So I couldn't really answer that question for you. Maybe somebody else on here could answer that for Cass R. She says, "Do y'all have a list of companies other than Swift that will hire him as a trainer and me as his trainee, like we did with Swift. So I don't know if you can answer that too.
Um, do we know? I would have to say no, just because we've only dealt with, like, in 9 years, a lot of people jump around a lot of different trucking companies. We've only driven with 3 names on the side of our door. We were with Swift initially, went RST, we pulled freight for Prime, and now we're doing our owner-op thing in conjunction with Tri-State. I never said
Okay.
that out loud before, but it
It's
is
all
what it
good.
is
It's
at
all
this
good.
point. So we've never really been all over. We've never really done a lot of hopping,
Nah.
and so we don't know. But I would assume, just like I tell anybody, trucking companies that put out truckers like the Swift, CRST, CR Englands, any trucking company that has a trucking school normally has a process of training. So I will call or contact any of those companies. They may want him and you to be there for a little bit, or they may even want him to come there, for a certain length of time to make sure he learns their way of doing things, their way of training, because every company does things differently.
Right.
And then they may allow you to come in that way.
I also pinned a comment that Gold Phoenix put up in reference to that topic, so that would help as well. Um, Gold Phoenix said very few places in the country that scare him. Now Canada, he said it's spooky up there. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, we
I've
haven't
never been
got there
there. I
yet,
haven't been to Canada.
but
I'm not
I know
interested in
my
going,
girls and her
honestly.
husband, they've been up there. So,
They just came, or still up
hmm
there maybe. I would do it, but it's gonna have to be
congratulations,
in the summertime for
Deshaun. You
sure.
got to tell us all about school. He said he starts tomorrow.
All right, about
Um,
time, boy.
my nephew going to college, so y'all shout him out.
Yes, sir.
Courtney Harden, how are you? I don't know if you I think you sound familiar. Courtney Harden. You know him? Her? Him or her?
I don't think so.
Says Mo, peace.
Peace,
And
peace. What
respect
up?
to you, Divine. Oh, you go way
Oh
back.
yeah, facts.
I don't even team, but I watched y'all from the start and I admire and respect what you guys represent. Thank you so much. Thank you so
Peace.
much.
Appreciate that for sure.
Gold Phoenix. I already posted that. Larry Morrow, how you doing? U.S. Express is one. Okay. So for Cats R, Larry says that U.S. Express is one of those companies that you can do that with. Devin Stevens, how you doing? Says Team Trucking is worth it if you have someone you are going to life with in the truck. Right, right. If you're doing life with,
Because
that's it.
when we speak of is it worth it, like, you know, we still hear it. There's a lot of electric trucks and electric cars. Like I said, my homeboy that's local right now, he's in Snyder, with Snyder in Los Angeles, and the truck that he drives is an electric truck. So we've been hearing about the electric trucks. They are here. We've been hearing about autonomous trucks and all that kind of stuff. Because again, like I said earlier, every business nowadays is trying to find ways to cut costs. And one of the major ways to cut costs is to eliminate personnel. You know that by your Walmarts and we went to a basic convenience store one time. You basically just put your items on the counter, some kind of way the computer knows what you're buying, and you pay for it yourself without even dealing with someone at the register. So we know the times that we're living in when it comes to companies, like I said, trying to eliminate employees and payroll to maximize profits. So we've been hearing in the industry of autonomous trucks for a long time, and they may come through at one point. I don't know. I'm sure they're gonna keep pushing for it. So I'm sure it's something to happen until something bad happens and they have to revert back. But
Right.
I
But
would
team
say
trucking is a
a
commodity
team
out
truck
here.
is such a commodity. We're the closest thing to a automated truck
Yeah,
that you can get.
definitely.
The element of getting packages from here to there quickly is what the shipping and trucking industry is about, period. So when you add the element of a team to it and two people into a truck where the truck don't have to stop, that alone is high up on the pole or high up on a list
Mm-hmm.
of what companies are looking for. But
Yeah.
I would assume we are the closest to autonomous trucks as you're going to get. So before they go completely that way, in my opinion, a team truck is going to be around the longest until that takes place.
Yeah.
So being able to find someone that you can team with and get into these trucks, that alone puts you or puts y'all together in a high place within this industry.
Yeah. Because what in team trucking, you make yourself invaluable by
Yes,
being a team. Um, Deshaun says truckers are safe from AI for the most part. Yes, they are.
for the moment.
From AI, yeah.
There's a
For
lot of
right now,
things
yeah.
that they're trying to incorporate, nephew, but at the same time, I mean, we know just with the element of accidents, how things can happen out here on the road. To completely put AI and just that whole element into an industry like this, where there's so many dangers and so many things that can happen, I just don't know how they would ever be able to fully just how swift and changeable the industry is, period, and how much we sometimes gotta do something different and change how we doing something. I just don't know how they will really fully be able to make that an autonomous thing.
Right.
I mean, they may have someone in the truck while the autonomous truck does what it does, and if there has to be changes made or whatever the case may be, there is a physical body that can possibly take over. But we'll see how they go about doing all of that. But is it all worth it? As in a nutshell, absolutely it is. I think trucking, period, is still a viable career path. So I would never tell nobody not to do it. But again, don't do it and be the butter knife. Don't do it and just be as basic as you can be. Try to put yourself in position to maximize what it is, because there's college graduates and graduations going on every day, where people are going from their youth to college students and out here into this real world, into this real business markets, and just into the world in general. There's people graduating trucking schools every day. Probably every Monday there's a new class
Oh yeah.
coming out.
Definitely.
That's just how or what the industry
It's always
is.
in demand. It's always in demand.
So you want to make sure, although you got to start somewhere as quickly as you possibly can, whether it's endorsements or just finding whatever works for you.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't want to be over the road. I get it.
Twan King, speaking of endorsements, said that we are the reason they team and have all the endorsements.
Facts. So, I hope you are maximizing those endorsements, because it's one thing
Congratulations
to have
to
them.
you.
It's one thing to have them, bro. But with that, you got to find the companies that will utilize it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another thing I want to say too. We know a lot of people. We know that everybody that's out here, that's grown people, that's adults, aren't competent. We know this. Everybody know grown fools. You also have to make sure you put yourself with a company that's competent as well. You've ever run loads or just been out here in the trucking industry or any industry for that matter and be like, man, all the company had to do was do this, this, and this, and we would have got this result. Or why they just ain't do this? They gonna go through the doing all this, that, and the third when all we had to do was this. And it may make complete logical sense, and it may be a complete logical solution. But all companies aren't that smart. There are companies out here that are literally ran and hire for the most part, some incompetent people. You can't be someone that's really solution based, and you spend a lot of years and spend your time with companies that aren't forward thinking as you are. They might not be as solution based as you are. There's certain companies that really don't care that much. They get loads as long as they can profit. They don't have too much interest in what your profit is. They don't really care that much. As long as they can get you paying for their trucks, because that's what a lot of leases are, as long as they can get you to run these loads to make them some kind of profit, them trying to make sure you eat is not really on our priority list. As much as you would think that this is a team thing, as if you provide, they provide you with the load, you run it, we both eat. They may eat a higher percentage. That's cool. That's business. But we both can agree to a certain amount, or to agree that you do your part as the company, I do my part as the driver, and together we eat. All companies don't work like that. There are companies out here that are straight snakes, and their whole plan for being in business is not to empower or uplift their partner or their employees. They're only in it for their own growth and benefit. Certain companies, you may have to start off with some of those type of companies because you may not be in the proper position you need to be in to really get your biggest slice of the pie. So you may have to deal with some of those, I'm sorry, babe, some of those companies initially. But you got to keep your eyes open and be as aware and pay attention to what the company you're dealing with as much as you possibly can, to recognize the people in those cubicles really don't care about me. When they used to talk about just being a number, that's completely true. Some companies will fake the funk long enough to get you in, but they'll have you out here running loads, whether you're violating stuff, you're violating weights, you're violating your clock. They out here, they got every trick in the book to reset your clock so you can keep running to make on-time deliveries, but they don't care about you. And you're only, like D Major told me before, you're only as good as your last load. When you roll that truck, when you have an accident, when you do anything that's unlawful as far as DOT is concerned, none of these companies are going to step in to save you. You're going to have to eat that and deal with that. So while you have those loads, while you're running that clock, your license is all you need to be worried about. You can't put them before you, because trust me, they're not going to put you before themselves. Not all companies, but you do have companies out here that will recognize your sacrifices, they'll recognize your abilities, and they are in cahoots and in cooperation with other companies that value that just the same. And together you will all be able to eat. But you have to be active in trying to find those companies, because a company will never come to you and say, hey, you should go somewhere else where you can make more money because you're this, that, and the third, and we're not. It ain't us, it ain't you, it's us. You're so much greater than we are. You shouldn't even be here. No one's coming to you for that. There's no value compass in companies' heads and no emotional bonds, because emotion has no place in business. There's no companies that's going to ever give you a forewarning that you should go ahead and do something else because you're so great at what you're doing. You're wasting your time here. You're not going to get that. They're going to run you, and they're going to run you, and they're going to run you. It's up to you to find out or to realize your own worth, what you're able to do, how good you do what you do, and find someone or a company out here that would appreciate, recognize that, and will respect you for that. Go ahead, babe.
No, you fine.
I'm rambling
You
again.
building. No, you building. Look, we ain't
Give me
been
one
on
of them
here in a
cherries,
while.
bro. Give me
So.
one of them cherries, bro.
You need a bag or something for me. You good?
I'll just spit them right here.
You know what? Twan said. Oh no, not Twan. I'm sorry. Gold Phoenix said you can for sure outgrow a company too, and Twan did say we are doing power only, a lot of hazmat. And then
Keep eating, bro. Eat.
in case you missed it, I like that name. How you doing? Where y'all get the shirts from?
Talking about to the mouth shirts, I'm assuming, right?
Married to the Mouse, yeah. I'll let him talk about that in a second. Deshaun nephew said, do y'all look at trucking as strictly a job, or do you have fun doing it as well? For us, When it's time to work, it's our, not a job, but it's our career. We do what we need to do in it. But yes, like when we're out here and we're trucking, we about this business and we on that. But when our time, when we pop that break and we don't have a load, we enjoy each other's company and we find fun in it. I think we've actually shared videos about this, Deshaun. You might want to go back and look at it, and we'll talk about it more. But I believe it's a necessity to have fun out here as a trucker and in team trucking. You need to have fun with your teammate. You need to have enjoyment for yourself individually. And but when it comes to being out here on this road and driving this truck, you got to be about business.
Trucking is a lifestyle.
It is a
It's
lifestyle.
not a job. It's not a
Mm-mm.
you punch a clock and you off.
Now, if
And
you at home and you doing local, then you might can run. You can do it like that. But OTR trucking, over the road trucking, no, this is a lifestyle.
I can't lie. I'll just say this, and I ain't trying to piss nobody off, but I don't really view local truckers as truckers. But that's a whole nother thing, because the ability to be able to clock out and punch out, to me, negates the whole, because the 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 constant unknown is what makes the trucker the trucker. When you can turn it off and turn it on, I
I
don't really
think
view it the same. It is the same, but I don't view it the same.
I think that
But I
it
don't want to
goes
go
back
into
to
that
what,
yet.
right. I think we could talk about that at another time. But I think my standpoint is that it's levels to it.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? We had this issue when we had talked to a lot of folks that got into trucking that have spoken to us, and we was trying to explain to them the difference in going local and going OTR. And we was trying to explain that most companies will not even want you being local if you don't have OTR experience. And people couldn't understand that, because really being local is a lot harder to a degree, because you're having to maneuver your truck in such smaller spaces and traffic, this, that, and the other. Not harder in a sense as far as long term, but I mean just the ability to know how to drive your truck straight out of school. So that's a whole nother conversation.
Well,
But
just
I
being,
do
cause
look
being,
at it as
being,
trucking, but it is a different
being,
level of
being,
trucking.
being over the road, especially for a certain at the time, almost they feel comfortable in knowing
You know how to
that
handle the truck
you've been
better.
thrown so many case and
Obstacles.
scenarios and various obstacles, and just been in so many situations that, and you walked away unscathed to a degree, that they can trust you to do just little stuff around here. Because just overall OTR trucking, you that's why I said it. Schools teach you to get your license. Driving a truck teach you how to drive the truck. You know what I mean? How to truck.
I
We
think
I spoke about it before, and to any new trucker out here, this is something that I was told by when I was in school. But you're not driving the truck. You're driving the trailer. We see in that most recent incident where the trucker tried to make the U-turn,
oh, that was
and what they
terrible.
call unalived 3 people. His truck was fine. His truck cleared it. His truck was not the issue. The issue was the trailer. He didn't drive his trailer. He didn't put himself in proper position for his trailer to clear the way it needed to clear. Not the truck. The truck is the easy part. Anybody can drive the truck. They got a valid driver's license, can drive the truck.
Right.
What you going to school for is dealing with that 53 foot behind you.
Yeah.
How to master that in addition to the truck.
Yeah.
Any 16-year-old, you can get in the bobtail. That's no different than driving a box truck. As long as you can deal with the height, remember the height part of it.
Yeah.
Driving a truck, anybody with a driver's license should be able to drive the truck. You're driving the trailer. You never have to, excuse me, I think I did it too. You never can forget
Trifling.
that
Trifling.
forget that fact, that you're definitely not driving the truck. The truck is not your problem. The issue, everything in this game is about this trailer.
Yeah. And I think too, it's just different levels in trucking. I mean, ultimately, there is no comparison to OTR and uh, being local. it's different.
Yeah, but
It's different. It's a whole different
yeah, but we ain't
conversation.
got to go into all that
Um,
for sure.
as far as shirts, I guess I can talk about that.
I say this: if we press our own shirts,
Yes.
I guess in the basic of it, we used to sell a lot of merch. I got hats, shirts. I recently pressed up some of these just for our own personal use because we haven't had any pressed up in a long time. Yeah, we got merch. I even got a chain. I won't sell it to you, but we got them. I got a bigger one than this too.
We got cup mugs too.
Yeah, we've been doing this for a little minute, so we have a little bit of all of that. I just kind of got away from producing a lot of merch. Like I said, around the same time or in conjunction with the slow social media and YouTube presence.
But if
We
y'all
kinda
make
got away from
mention
a
and
little bit of all
start
that. But
start
if
making
it's
mention
something
that
that
it's
you're-
something y'all desire and let us know, we'll get it to you.
Because it's
It's
not a
still
hard
available.
thing to do.
And our
You know.
website is still there. We're just doing some revamp and some rebranding, some shifting, some pivoting on how we do things. So if you don't see it, it's still there. So
But
you can
yeah,
still go to marriedtothemouse.com.
www.marriedtothemouth.com.
Thanks for inquiring
We
about
covered
that.
all the bases, but like I
Gold
said, it's
Phoenix
just about
said,
us getting back on my Grizzly again, man.
right. And you know what? Let me tell you how he do this for real. What they say, he do this, he true to this. What is it? What's the saying, y'all? He not new to this, but anyway, he made this shirt in a hotel in like 20 minutes. He had pressed maybe what 9 or 10 shirts
Something like that.
in the hotel. Okay, that was just a random. Gold Phoenix said this company did me a solid, letting me stick around after my last co-driver. Sometimes they really do recognize what's true. Definitely, I appreciate them for
But yeah,
doing that.
I mean,
Yep.
no lie. I mean, like I said, it's and I'm not saying they're easy to find because I'm sure the quote unquote bad far outweighs the good. But that's why it's most important that you put yourself in the best position you possibly can from what you can control, and
Oh
then you
wow.
work diligently, ask questions, talk to other drivers, the whole 9 yards. Like, we could be company drivers doing what we do right now. We just wouldn't get as big of a slice that we want.
But they pay really good.
Becoming the owner operator and running my own truck and contracting myself on with them, although it's a bigger headache on our part, we are responsible for our own fuel and all aspects of what happens with our truck. To me, it's worth it, but I would team company drive over here if I had to, for sure. But this just allows us to get a bigger slice of the pie. But
Right.
it's something that it's a sacrifice that we chose because we didn't. We could sacrifice a lot less, still earn a very decent wage doing what we do right now. But to me, it's worth the sacrifice of running my own truck and being responsible for my own truck. Now, does that element add wear and tear on me? Yes. I would say team trucking as an owner operator is the hardest job in trucking, period. And I put that up against anybody.
He got a video for that too.
I've had one in the past. I probably need to do another one again because it's never, when you were talking about local and punching out, it's never off the clock for me. Me and her had a heated argument or heated conversation prior to coming back out on the road one time recently because she was speaking of, I think we slid in the house for maybe a day or two. And for her, it's a lot of the sacrifice of being out on the road and going home and dealing with the home aspect of everything and all the weight that she has to carry being home for a few days to her is
More of a stressor.
is a stress for her because it's almost like that double dutch of getting back home for a second, getting into the home zone, dealing with all the emotions that
Mommy
come her
mode.
way from being back home, being mommy again and grandma again and all of that. And then it's a rip for her to have to come back out on the road again. So coming back out on the road for her is a kind of a downer in a way,
At
or just
times.
that emotional.
Yeah. It's a
It's a
process.
roller coaster for her, and I had to let her know I completely agree with what she's saying. I don't want to not be sympathetic at all on what you're emotionally going through, because you do carry a certain weight, or you probably put more weight on yourself than you should, but nonetheless you do carry a certain weight that when you come home there's a song and dance you have to do emotionally, and I know it takes a toll on you.
Yeah, this is the sacrifice. This is a part of the sacrifice I was referring to.
But the point that I made in contrast to her saying that is, for me, if I can get 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, 24 hours, a day, 2 days, whatever the case may be, as minor as I can get it, I take it, because I'm never off. There's never a time when I get off duty where she's driving that I'm not on. Never. Whether whether I hear a certain sound, it wakes me up. I'm always full because I have no one to call. This is nobody out here, quote unquote, to save us. There's no breakdown I can have where I can call somebody and I just gotta wait around till somebody shows up to come fix it. When we have an issue, when the truck does a certain bing ding on the screen and there's any type of issue with my truck, I have to be up and I have to jump into action. No matter what time of day that is, no matter where we are, I'm never off. I don't get that where I can just hand you the steering wheel, we change clocks, I go in the back, close the curtain, and whatever happens during your shift, it's on you. We don't operate like that. So whenever I can get a day off where I can technically unplug from, quote unquote, the matrix, I do it. And I'm going to forever do it. I know you may deal with your own issues when it comes to doing that, but to me, it don't compare. Not that I'm trying to compare, not that I'm trying to belittle. I'm just speaking. I think I put in the comment or in the caption of this, no fluff. So we're not going to do the fluff thing.
No.
What you're dealing with emotionally has no comparison to what I deal with on a consistent day-to-day mental basis, driving around this truck with my wife 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, for weeks on end. It
No.
don't compare at all, not even a little bit. So whenever I
Yeah.
get a chance to unplug and go home, and I can not worry about where we're going, I'm not thinking about none of this, I take it. I
And
have
see,
to,
I
because
completely
just for the
understand.
mental,
Yeah.
for my own mental,
The
I have to.
the double dutch with it. I understand exactly what you're saying, and I do believe that there is no comparison. Because as for me, my sacrifice is that um, I have to turn on my trucking life, and when I go home, I have to turn on my home life. So there is really a um, regardless, I'm on similar to what he's saying, but it's different because when he go home, it can be his oasis. When I go home, I have to create my oasis. It's not an immediate, oh, I go home, because as a mom, as a wife, as a grandmother, as a friend, as a woman, I have to decompress, which is very different than what he may have to do. And speaking of that, while we on that, I wanted to ask y'all before we not saying we get ready to end right now, I'm not sure yet, but if y'all have topics and things that's related to what we're talking about, throw them in the comments so that we can kind of have an idea of just things that y'all want to build on. Because we want to make sure that we bringing y'all content that's actually helping you. Um, I see KT in here. How you doing? Nappy goodness. That's gold Phoenix. That's gold Phoenix.
Yeah,
Girlfriend.
we
Yeah.
get
She
it.
says, yup, companies don't view local truckers as truckers either. Tri-State gave me a hard time when I told them I was local for 2 years. I feel you.
Yeah.
Um, Lovely Bree says, what press machine do you use for merchandise? And Saloa says, big facts, we definitely have I don't want to transition from truck life to home life, and it takes a few days. Facts. Let me tell you something. A lot of people didn't know this because I didn't share it. I think my best friend and maybe some of my family members and Mo knew. But there was a time in my trucking career when we came off the road, I went to a hotel first.
Yeah.
I had a period in my life that when I came off the truck, I literally, before I went to my actual home, I stayed in a hotel by myself because I was getting to the point that the mood and the emotions and the processing and the decompressing, I didn't even get a chance to get that. And if you came in my presence during that time, you was going to get a version of me that was not a good version of me, or a version that was really true to who I am consistently. It was all of the weight that comes along with my sacrifice of trucking. And so I actually was not just doing myself that due diligence to give it to me, but I was giving it to my husband, my family. Let me just take this moment to prepare myself for what I'm about to walk into.
It's almost like dealing with.
Now there was a period of time, like I said, it wasn't a long period of time because growth, you know what I mean, of just my life out here and the sacrifices. It takes time. It takes time, and you have to be able to come to terms. Getting back to our topic of the sacrifice being out here on the road, like you have to be honest with what your needs are, and what it takes for you to do this. We can't speak to other stuff, but we team truckers, so we have to figure out what it takes for us to do this and do it in a healthy way. You know what I mean? My Sundays today will be my day of worship in church and doing all of that. It took a lot, and it's still a sacrifice to not have that, not necessarily the urge, but it's just like you get used to what is familiar to you and what you need for your life, for your lifestyle. And this has become a sacrifice, you know. But yeah, I couldn't do the hula hoop process, even though now, like, or the double dutch, I say double dutch, but like, even though now when I go home, I'm working on like conditioning my mind and my thoughts. Okay, you're going home, take a few minutes. It's okay to just rest. It's okay to go in your room and say, hey, I don't have it for you. I'ma still talk, I can still be social, but I might not have anything to give you. Let me decompress from my life out here on the road. Because even though we're on the road as truckers and we do get time off, we're still not off. This is what it's really difficult for people to understand that's not in the trucking industry. Being off is not off when you're on the road. You're still in your career. You're still in your truck. Even if you come off the truck and you go to a hotel, you're still trucking. You're not home. So it's a rest period. It's a rest period to get back to the road, to get back to what you're doing. So it's really not a vacation or time off until you really are away from the truck. Like, and I don't mean just away from the truck because it's parked somewhere and you at a hotel. I'm talking about your truck is parked because you're at your home. So it's a whole different thing. And again, we do have a video that we shared because at one point when this was a struggle for us and we were learning, we did a video about get out the truck.
Yeah.
Because we had to figure that out. Like, Dag, why we feel this way? Why is we going through this? Get out the truck.
I remember that doing this. I've said it before. That's why a lot of these videos, or I got to a point where I just felt like it was regurgitation. But it's almost like this is a self-inflicted incarceration.
Saloa's hitting on that, but go ahead. She's hitting on that right now too.
When you talked about
Yeah.
going home and the decompress, it's almost like someone who did a bid going
Facts.
to a halfway house first
Facts.
and getting acclimated to society, getting acclimated to being around people, because there is a mental thing you go through with being isolated and just being away from everybody.
Being in solitude.
That solitude, that when you do come home,
It take a minute.
you're kind of an outsider. You
You are
kind of
not.
looking at
Yes.
everybody making the moves that they're making and doing what they normally do, and to them it's normal to do what they're doing. And you're coming from such a different place because, like I said, this is not a job. This is a way of
But
life
that's why I said double dutch. Is you waiting to figure out where I can jump
where you
in
fit
at,
in
and
at.
but then on top of that,
And
not only
sometimes
are
you may
you
think you
you
don't fit
can't
in no
you
more.
think you done jumped in and
That's
you
gonna be a
think
whole
you
other
went.
video
Yeah,
too.
this is gonna be a whole nother video. Because you have changed. Once you come out here and before, this is just trucking in general. This ain't even team trucking, but when you become a trucker, your mind opens up in a way like it has never been open before. And I'm sure all of you that's on here that's truckers can relate to what we're saying. But you get to a point that you see so much, you experience so much in such a different way that your life will never, your thoughts will never be the same. Your life is not the same. And you cannot give that experience to anybody. So when it's time to go home, to have conversations and interact in a social way with the family and friends that you left, because you left and made this career choice, you don't have that ability to have those conversations in a way that is reciprocity. You know what I mean? It's more so like, well, that's what you chose. And again, we're gonna come back to that. We're gonna have that conversation. I'm gonna catch some of these topics. Gold Phoenix said we got his girlfriend giggling next to him. That's sweet. um Saloa said big facts, we definitely have. I don't want to transition from truck life to home life and it takes a few days. I think I said it already. But she also says, right, it's a mental and physical transition. Yes, it is. Living two lifestyles is not easy. That is part of the sacrifice. Yes, it is. It's worth it for sure, but it's not easy. You better say that again. You better say that again. She said, I have a whole ritual and routine my first day and two or two at home. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Let me tell you something. At one point, I had my ritual. I done got away from my ritual and I listen to my body now. I've had moments, and Mo will tell you, I have walked in that house, take my shoes off, got in the shower, and got straight into bed. I'm like, we can order some food, we can do what we need to do. Like, I just need to feel my bed in my home and just sit still. I need this stillness and everything. And I know
And
that
you'll be in
there's
your little nighty for like
what?
2 days.
What? And you know what? There are some people, honestly, that right now, friends, family, whoever, that may watch this video and say, well, why is that worth it? You got to know where we come from. You got to know who we are to understand why it's worth the sacrifices. Let me tell you something. Me and Mo both worked really hard before we got into trucking. We was never no slouches. We worked hard when we was boots to the ground. You know how some folks say, we had
Without the
multiple,
fan.
right, we had multiple jobs, careers, business owners. We was doing the thing, and we worked way harder sometimes than what we do now, with none of the and was a sacrifice and didn't even get nowhere near the level of benefit that trucking has given us. So yes, the mental part of it, the physical part of it, the emotional part of it is all worth it for us. And that is what this video is really about. Is trucking still worth your sacrifice? That's really what we should have said. Is it worth your sacrifice? Because yeah, it's worth the sacrifice, period. I mean, I feel like anybody that's been a trucker can say, when you come out here, you can make good money. You making money hand over fist. It's not like being at home is different. But is it worth your sacrifice? Because your life and what you had before will change in a way that you got to be okay with. And if you're not okay with, you got to be the one to make that decision. Because there's a lot of people that have said trucking ain't worth it and they walked away from it. They have gone other ways. And you know what? I respect that. Because it's your mental, it's your emotions, it's your physical, it's your life, and you got to figure out what is worth your sacrifice. You got to figure that out. For us, it's worth the sacrifice. And it like Saloa said, it's heavy, it's hard, it's sad. Um It comes against relationships. It comes against community. It comes with being misunderstood. It comes with being talked about. It comes with being looked at a certain way. And in reality, all of these things also come along with elevation and going to those next levels in your life. If you can't take it, just be honest with that, and that's okay. Because I've even had those moments. In these past few years, we've withstood some things that have made both of us question if this was worth it. And here we
We're
are
gonna
doing
speak
this
on that
video talking to y'all. Yeah, we're gonna talk about
at a
that
later
at some
time. So
point.
she and I probably at this point have almost experienced,
I'm sorry, I'm looking at comments. Go
probably
ahead.
have experienced the greatest of times within the industry,
Mm-hmm.
and we've also experienced the worst of times in this industry. We've made it through probably the greatest fear that most people have within the industry. We've survived through aspects of the industry that keep people from even getting in the industry, period.
Right.
You know, we've been through some things that have pushed us to our limits,
Hmm. Talk about that.
but together we've withstood,
Mm-hmm.
and here we are
Here
in
we
front
are.
of y'all presenting ourselves again. So when you talk about something that's worth something, you know, from financial is probably the greatest
Oh yeah, definitely.
uh, reason that we could definitely directly give you if we was to sit here and give you numeric amounts. But our bond overall, our quality of life,
Yeah.
what we've been able to provide for ourselves, first off, for our families, countless friends, it's definitely been worth it for us.
Yeah.
As we stand here today,
Mm-hmm. It's worth
it's
it.
overall, it's been a blessing for us.
Mm-hmm. And all the beating has been worth it, because you get beat out here in this road.
Yeah.
Like, you gonna take a beating. I'm gonna tell you,
When
you're
we
gonna
came out
go
on
through
this,
some things.
when we
What?
came out on this road, I mean, we went through bankruptcies.
What? We lost our house.
Yeah, I mean, for those who know us for real,
We
that's
walked
probably why.
away from everything. We
If you
had
are somebody
nothing when we
that's
came out
new
here
to
in this
our
truck.
channel, and you seeing people on here speaking of that they've watched us from the beginning and they've seen when we first started and how we started and all of that, and you wonder, I guess, who are these people or whatever the case may be. There's people on here that have heard and that know of our journey,
Mm-hmm.
and our journey has given them the battery that they needed to continue to push forward, because that's what all this is supposed to be. It's supposed to be a visual representation of what it will take to get to certain points,
Yeah.
and you recognize within yourself if you got those things and you got what it takes to get to those points also. Only you know that.
Yeah.
So that's when you were saying about knowing, is it worth the sacrifice? Only
gotta go
you
back.
know what it's worth to you. You know, certain people can't be on the road and be gone for weeks at a time. Their lifestyle, where they live, the city that they live in, it may be so popping. Their friends may be doing so much that they can't pull themselves away from it.
Or you can't deal with the pressure of your family
To
making
them,
comments
Yeah,
and
to them,
saying
it's not worth it. To them,
why why you not here for this important event, and they want you home and this, that, and the other. And again, this is gonna be another video, but it comes with it. It comes with it.
hmm
And it is bittersweet. It is bittersweet. It's bittersweet. I'm gonna catch some of these comments. Uh, Let me see. Okay. Goldfina says, as far as I'm concerned, when I'm home on home time, I'm unemployed, except when we were moving.
Yeah.
Tall King said facts. And then Saloa said, then when you're home, you're stressed out getting your truck organized. It is a roller coaster. Yes, it is. We're going to talk more about it. Larry Mars said, trucking is one of the few jobs that you never get to leave your job. You're there 24/7 inside the truck, even through you're sitting in the bunk, you're still at your job.
Facts.
Facts. Gold Phoenix said, this is why I pay a premium for nice things at home. Even my bedroom TV and sound system were around 3 grand because I can't have it on the road. May as well do the same. You know what? I gotta say this too. I feel you on that. And I saw you saying that if you don't have extra outlets for your sound in your bedroom, like what are you doing? I saw that video.
Because we got
But
that.
on the woman side of it, and if you women in here, y'all can relate, chime on in. Like you said, you spent 3 grand because you can't have it on the road. Well, when I'm on the road, I'm in this. I'm in my leggings or my shorts. My shoe. I buy my clothes. Like when I'm home, you hardly ever gonna just see me walking outside looking any kind of way. Like I got my stuff. I don't get to do this on a consistent basis. I'm living in a truck. I'm on the road. I'm round dirt. It's grimy all the time. When I get home, I'm doing all the things. My nails, my toes, my lashes, my hair, facials, massages. I'm getting all the things done. Buying my clothes online. I'm popping tags. As he said, I'm popping tags. And I used to feel a certain way because, quote unquote, it can look like you're not humble or you're arrogant or you're cocky or you're this, that, and the other. To know me is to know me. If you know me, then you know that ain't my character. I can't make you know that, and I'm not trying to prove that. But the reality is, I don't need an event to get dressed. When I get home, I'm putting my clothes on because that's something that I enjoy and miss. I'm a woman. I'm a lady. I miss the ability to get fresh. You know, that's a whole nother conversation. So, but I just wanted to add that. So Laura said, that's exactly what I do. No cooking, DoorDash, bed, and TV. Facts, all that. We eating lamb chops. We doing all the things in the bed, watching TV. She said, now we make it in a week. She said, now we make in a week what is used to take us months to make. Definitely a blessing, but not for everybody. No, I feel you. No, let me just say that. I had one time where we got a settlement check. And I literally had tears in my eyes because I told Mo when my kids was little, 4 children, I made that in a year. That one check. That was my salary for a year. Don't tell me that this sacrifice ain't worth it. Don't tell me that. And don't say it can't be all about money. It ain't all about money. But money is a tool. Like Phoenix was saying, it's like you need money solves problems. You know what I mean? I'm not worshiping money, but I need it, in order to live my life and to live it more abundantly.
And it provides the ability
Right.
to unplug. Like
And to help others as well.
we didn't
'Cause-
make
yes.
we didn't make big deals out of it.
No,
but,
we ain't
like,
even be doing that.
Last year we went to Africa, like 10 days.
10 days,
We
yeah.
went to we,
It was
we,
amazing.
We flew
It was
down.
amazing.
We stayed in Nairobi, and we also went to Diani Beach. We were there for some days. Went back to Nairobi. We went to the motherland for 10 days in December, while everybody was probably scratching and clawing, trying to put gifts under the Christmas trees and all of that kind of stuff. We flew to the motherland. There's people we know that would love to go there, but never have either the finances to do so, or they don't have the quote unquote vacation time at their job to do so. So they're so limited on what they can do because their job requires certain things of them that they have to work their life around what their job is.
Let me
You know,
catch
and,
this
and,
comment.
and, and trucking, we can do this out here. We get it in, and when we go home, we unplug. And that's another thing about being the owner-operator part of it, because I can pretty much take as long as I want. So we're able to make our own moves. We went to Greece, Santorini, Greece, for a week or so in May. Shout out to Saloa on the lookout and on the arrangements. But
Our travel agent.
yeah, but we unplug when we need to.
And we be needing to, like, for real.
So as much as if you follow us, like I said, social media, you'll probably see more of that stuff on there because we didn't really bring a lot of that to YouTube. We may have put up a short here or there of being out of the country or whatever, but most people that I know would have probably blogged the whole thing and been live and showing this, that, and the third. We kind of didn't do any of that. That's how unplugged from this stuff we were.
Right.
But we've been doing what we want to do and how we want to do it for months now. Lord and with D Major, he put me on to the bed that I can raise up the feet and zero gravity.
Oh,
and the
yes,
cool
we
mattress.
love that. We love that.
Like our bed, I think our bed was $8,000.
But what's more important out here?
But I sleep on a
your sleep
I
and
sleep
your
on a
rest.
4-inch mattress in a truck
Right.
with a
Twin
2-inch
size.
with a 2-inch topper on it that's probably wore out by now. We definitely need to change it.
Yeah.
But we got an $8,000 bed at home in my bedroom that I sacrificed sleeping on it to sleeping here for months at a time. And like I said, this ain't no flex or nothing like that.
Nah.
Because we
But
definitely
just
try
to
not
even
do
have
that.
it, we really don't even have to say that
No,
because, again,
we
to
don't-
know
we normally
us,
don't
to
talk
know that
money
it's
and
not
none of
that.
stuff,
No, we
period.
don't.
We try not to because we know that is what it is.
Yeah, no, we
but
don't.
At the same time, we also know that people think everybody's trucking reality is the same. And when you know somebody who trucks and they may complain about not making money, under those circumstances, think that that's everybody's reality because it's not.
No, it's not.
But go ahead, baby.
I just wanted to
If I say
catch
something I ain't got no business
Joe
saying.
Wilson's comment. He says, my wife and I was looking at buying a truck and leasing it on with Tri-State 7 years ago. Things has changed when we got the call that their one and only daughter was killed in a car accident by DUI driver. I'm so sorry to hear that. Our condolences to you and your wife and your family. He said it took 2 years before his wife came back OTR with him. Wow, that took a lot of courage. He also said that we are company drivers pulling reefer freight on dedicated lane from PA to Cali, and we able to take time off when we want. That's good.
Beautiful.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
That's why I said it. A lot of
And
stuff.
again, it speaks
Go
to
ahead.
the sacrifice.
Yes.
Like, not even, I can't even imagine, but to deal with grief in that way and then to continue on takes in this field takes a lot of courage to do that. And that's the sacrifice. That's a part of the sacrifice out
But
here.
those are the miles.
Yep.
The miles is that journey.
The journey.
The miles is that voyage. The miles
Yep.
is that route you're taking. Those are your miles. So that's when we always talk about being married to the miles.
Yep.
It's your bond to your journey, to your vision, to where you want to go, and only you know that.
Right.
I mean, it's a universal term, I guess, but it's so individualized if you really break it down. No one can tell you the path that you should be walking. People can give you suggestions. People can tell you their failures. They can tell you their successes. They can tell you what they did, how they did it. But only you know what's right for you.
Correct.
Only you know the miles you willing to run. You have to be married to your own vision, your own goals, and it's up to you to see it through.
Right.
If you fail here, it's up to you to get back up and try something different.
Right.
That's why can't nobody give you one brush of what it is to be successful or to achieve goals. No one can tell you that for you, because I still desire more right now. And honestly, I have more than most. From where we come from, the people we come up with, the families that we have, we've already made it. We're already viewed as that success story. We even deal with some of the negatives that come with people viewing you a certain way. There's a certain level of, what's the word, when people think they're supposed to get something, and they deserve something. What's the word when
Entitled.
yes, we deal with certain levels of entitlement from family, friends, that we would have never dealt with before.
Right.
It's visually evident that in many aspects of our lives we have made certain changes, and we've been hit with that from the negative standpoints, and we've also been given applause and pats on the back because people know what our journeys have been.
Yeah.
But there's people who know our journey and still feel like they're owed something in some form or fashion. We deal with it. I'm not
Or
saying,
have judgment
but
behind
at the same time,
how we
I'm
live.
nowhere near where I want to be. Down to the vehicles that we have, anything along those lines. To me, I enjoy it. I appreciate having it, but mentally, I'm already over it. I'm already thinking of what's next. The only thing that limits me is if I'm not really utilizing what I currently have, why add on to it? But I'm already, like I started off saying, you have certain things and they're so shiny and new, and it's everything to you. And then you get to a point where it loses its luster to you. I pull up and see people all the time and they say, man, your car is my dream car. And I say, man, and it almost puts things in perspective for me, because it's like, man, I really appreciate that, bro. Like, thank you. Because at one time it was mine. But now that I have it, I'm still looking elsewhere.
Right. Right.
So it's just one of those things that we know we've achieved a lot, but the hunger for more is still there. Certain people will get to where we are and will probably take their hands off the wheel and consider themselves done. I remember you saying to me before, I thought we would be at a point where we wouldn't have to run as hard.
We said 10 years.
Well,
We
we
had
wouldn't, yeah,
said
well,
10
we
years.
wouldn't have to do as much,
Right. Yeah.
you know? And you get to a point where, okay, we know we've generated, we've grossed a certain amount this week, but there's still 2 or 3 days left to add on to this. We're both tired, yes. Do we both need a day or two off? Yes. But there's still out here to get. There's still meat on the bone. And where we come from,
You got
we going to
Gold
get
Phoenix.
it.
Yeah, Gold Phoenix said money is just an amplifier and gives you the choice to say yes or no instead of living on what needs to be done at all
Facts.
times.
Facts.
He said definitely considering a new bed at home, but I'll cry spending that money. Oh, spending that much. No, let me tell you, it's worth it.
That's
Every
that's the
penny.
one with 4 or 5 OLED TVs in
I'ma
this
tell
house.
you.
All my
I'ma tell
TVs
you.
come from Walmart, bro.
Saloa said, people say all the time, I could never do that. And humbly, I say that's why you can't do the things we do:
Tell
pop
it.
tags, trips, bless folks, and sleep on zero gravity at
You
home.
better
That
know it.
part,
Press that
that
button.
part, that
Press that
part.
button and raise them
I'm gonna
feet
tell
up.
you, I've learned. I said I was gonna talk about this one day, and I am, because y'all giving us a lot to really go off of as far as topics. But I said I was gonna talk about this because I'm always telling Mo, like, he get calls all day, every day from friends, family, truckers about just showing him so much respect and giving him so much props and just saying, like, appreciating him and encouragement and just thanking him. He's had so many people become truckers, his friends and things like that, because of his trucking experience. I have not experienced that same, and not on a comparison, but just because the women, many women or many people in my life do not give me that same level of respect for being a trucker and being out here with my husband. I get more respect from men that I came out here to do this with my husband than I do from my community, right? And I can remember like that being a dig to me, that statement that you said, when people say I could never do that. I just recently was having a conversation, actually not a conversation, I was out to eat, and it was a new woman that has been like a part of like my community that don't really know me, but I made mention about like sleeping in my truck and just like, had my normal conversation with my friends that know that I'm a trucker. And she quickly made a statement in reference to, like, she said I couldn't do it with her eyes. She didn't exactly say it, but she said it with her eyes. When I said, like, sleeping in my truck, she was like, and the roll in the eyes, you know what I'm talking about. And, not to get all into it, but it just shows the different level of how you can be viewed out here as being a woman in trucking. And not only that, in my story, a woman who walked away from what I had desired to do my whole life, which was own my own salon. And I did that. God allowed me to do that because I did hair before. But people will also try to keep you in a box and will project on you. Because in reality, she felt the way. But it wasn't just about, it couldn't have just been about me sleeping in a truck. Because why would you feel a way about me making a comment about sleeping in my truck? You ain't sleeping in a truck. The look was made because of the knowing of the financial portion of it. Do you understand what I'm saying? The benefit of the money and that sacrifice. So I can definitely relate to what you're saying, and in the most humblest way, lay on my $8,000 bed and drive around in my truck and do the things that I do because God has given me the opportunity, and I work hard. We upwards out here working 70 plus hours in a week to get this high value freight where it has to go, while you're asleep, while you get to wake up and put your slippers on and walk to your bathroom at night and do all the things. And I don't say nothing about what you do, but you have a lot of opinion about what I do and how I live. And this, again, like I said, I'm gonna have that conversation, but more from an end of like, this also comes with the sacrifices of being out here on the road, because trucking will change you, and it's your job to figure out how it's gonna change you. You know what I mean? Like, are you gonna become a certain type of person and switch up in that way? Because you're gonna change anyway. But how you gonna go about the change that happens to you when you be out here on this road, because it's gonna rub some folk. You know what I mean? But it is hard. It's hard sometimes. I've just gotten to the point, like even Mo say, he don't need that stuff. He don't ask for it. And I ain't saying I need it, but I don't think nobody really is walking around saying don't encourage me. Everybody want to feel acceptance to a degree from at least your community. And some sort of validation of what I do is worth it. You know what I mean? So anyway, I just wanted to throw that in there because my girl said that. What else? Twan King said success looks different to everyone. Correct. Gold Phoenix said she couldn't hide her jealousy. Right. That's what it was. And a lot of my friends or just people, associates and stuff will say that, and it's so crazy because in my mind I'm like, you jealous of me being out on the road in a truck? You want to switch places with me? Nope. I think not. Gold Phoenix said a lot of these people never had to ask someone to pull over so they could use the restroom. Facts.
Absolutely.
And Joe Wilson said one thing that burns my butt was family members telling my wife that she was crazy being OTR.
We took it too.
Oh my goodness! But they call and borrow money.
Joe,
don't do this on this. We trying not to go there on this live right now.
She's had friends tell her don't do it.
I didn't have a warm, how can I put it? I mean, I'ma just say it. I still don't have nobody saying, "Hey, we want you." It ain't like that. It comes off as this what he wanted to do, and you up under him. You just trying to follow your man, which I don't see nothing wrong with that
I was
either.
about to say,
I'm 18 years in, boo.
ain't
I'm
that how it's
18
supposed
years
to
in,
go?
so I don't have a problem with that. I mean, I'm a different type of woman. I don't know, but
Ain't that how it's supposed to go? I mean,
I have my identity, but I also believe that in marriage, there's another topic. We might could go there. Like I said, don't forget to put some topics in the comments, y'all, for us. But um, I'm a woman that I believe that God did create me to be a part of my man's vision. So I don't have a problem with doing that. And my husband did, who people who go back and pay attention, my husband sacrificed much for me to live out my dream. And it was fulfilled. We had a whole salon before we came out here and did this. So why would I not in turn back my husband with what he wants to do? And truthfully, since we've been out here, life has been amazing for us in that sense. We definitely have not been out here in the same level of financial space that we was in, and our marriage has grown even closer than it ever was with the time that we've had out here on the road. Would you say that?
I would agree.
Guess who in here?
Who that?
Smitty.
The gorilla. Smitty. That's my boy right there, man. Smitty been through it. Smitty know about it. Ain't nothing we can say on here that Smitty don't already know. Because he's someone else that's been out here, man. That's why I say it's an overall sacrifice that a lot of people just aren't willing to do. And that's fine, man. It really is. It takes a certain type of person to do what it is that we do, y'all. For all y'all that is doing this. It takes a certain type of person, a certain type of understanding. And you almost can't even waste so much of your time trying to get someone to understand what this way of life is. You just got to live it. They're going to either see it or they won't. But you can't waste no time trying to show and prove nothing to nobody.
You don't.
You just got to live your life, do what you're going to do. And the only time going to tell. You know, we haven't did a bunch of jumping from trucking company to trucking company. We've kind of stayed steady in certain places because we're going to let the time go show and prove what this about for us. You know, we won't never trying to be, you know, make viral videos. We won't never trying to just be so in your face.
Nah.
And be a part of all the backbiting.
And we never want to just say stuff. We want it to be because it's genuine. Like, we can talk, but we not just out here to hear ourselves talk.
But I'm not going to battle for space.
No.
You know, we've seen this whole YouTube thing go from organic trucking, and then it got all sexy and you know, bodies showing, and
I could get the numbers up, y'all. We could
turned into all of that kind of stuff. And you know, we watched, and then it went to a whole lot of, you know, backbiting or talking about people, or everything was about exposing.
It became negative, a negative space.
And it just got to the point where a lot of us just backed away from it and took our hands off of it because we just didn't see the value in it. And now that I've been peeking at it over time, the past few months, it's time.
It is.
It's time again right now because the fluff is faded.
It has. I think
people need to really see and know for real that, like I said, you type in the word trucking right now, there's a lot of people out here not doing so well, but those are the only people that are speaking. So anybody that's coming to looking to get into it right now, to me, has a very tainted view or very tainted perspective on the possibilities that's involved. It's going to all be based on how hard you're willing to work and what type of energy you're willing to put into it. It ain't no you just get the license and all of a sudden you just gonna eat. It ain't like that. We 9 years in. But if you're willing to put the work in and you're willing to build and sacrifice, because we went our first 4 or 5 years in trucking, we didn't even own a car.
Or a house.
We didn't even have a place that we could quote unquote call
was staying
ours, that
in
we had a key to.
Airbnb,
We Airbnb'd
hotels.
it, hoteled it, or we crashed with family for the 4 or 5 days we would be home from
And we're
time
still
to time.
doing a lot then. We use that time to actually connect with our family and have trips and have gatherings.
But we've had times we've been on the road for 4 months at a time. Like, who you know stay on the road 4 months?
Right.
Like, people don't do that. We've been doing this, like, no breaks,
Yeah.
no big gaps. Like I said, we
Nah.
may take off some time, a month here, a month there. I think we took off 4 months once.
Yeah.
4 months one time.
That was amazing. That was our
So,
first
but
time being able to take off like
I'm
that.
just
We
saying,
enjoyed it.
this ain't no thing
enjoyed
we've
it.
been hopping in and hopping out.
Nah.
We've been consistently
We
trucking for going on 9 years right now. So I don't owe any apologies.
No.
I don't need no one to understand. I don't need the sympathy. I'm not providing any sympathy. You're going to get out of this what you put into it.
Right.
There's way too many people that should just be driving a truck that's trying to handle too much business in regards to trucking, and you don't know what you're doing, and you're falling flat on your face.
Saloa says, yes, thank God for our hubbies and their visions. But best believe it comes with covering and protecting and
Facts.
providing. Yes, it does.
Facts.
Joe Wilson said the family members were not around when they lost their daughter. We had money saved, so we were out of work for months. See, thank God for that. Thank God for that. Gold Phoenix said, you both know your roles and play them well. That's why y'all eat. People hate acknowledging that we need our other half. Right. I don't know why. I don't have a problem. Saloa said, if he rocking, I'm rolling. We are one. That's it. Courtney says, fucks, not F-U-C-K. That no apologies needed. And Joe said, where was those family members at that bar money when we was down, but we were able to take several months off? Oh, definitely. I mean, definitely. It's one of them
somewhere
things.
still talking.
I mean, it's one of them things too that, you know, you learn over time. It's like people are with you when you up, but when you down, they might not be so readily there. And okay.
Yeah.
But you know who is when you get a little silent and you are down and you're going through something. Those who show up, that's your people.
And
That's your people.
And that's the overall beauty of doing this from a team perspective. I can't speak of just two people in the truck that's just teaming together. I don't know it. I don't know it from that perspective. But when you are a actual couple that's going through life together, that get to do this right here together, there's a certain level of respect that you gotta have for one another. Like, you gotta be a certain type of dude. Like, most people don't get to see their husband or wife at work. So you could go to work and you gone for 8 hours, 10 hours, you come home with whatever stories that took place that day and how bad your back hurting and your feet and all of this, and they just have to take your word for that you been out there getting it in. Your wife don't know you spend 2 hours of your day hiding in the bathroom ducking work, or you the dude, your wife don't know that you're the dude that everybody at the job don't even like that, because all they do is sit around and talk. They run for more work than they do. We all know people like that. You all know people that you work alongside them, but they BS every day, all day. You know that about them because you work with them. Their husband or wife, they don't know that. All they know is he leave, she leave to go to work, and they come back and the check come at the end of the week. But they don't really know what type of worker you really are. Doing it like this, there's a certain level of respect that each individual has for one another, because you know without a shadow of a doubt how strenuous and how much just going through the trenches y'all are doing out here together. It takes a relationship to a whole nother bond, because you can't fake the funk. You can't I don't picture you one way, but you're really something else. When you're out here in this truck together, you know exactly who it is you're dealing with.
Yep.
And that allows you to give a certain level of love and respect and admiration for that person that you may not normally give, because y'all out here together going through these trenches together. And I much rather know who I'm dealing with, know who I'm rocking with. So I have no problem on going all out for them because I know what they do for me.
Goldfinger said, I took note of the people who never felt entitled to what I have and cut the extra fat. My circle is extremely small these days.
Facts.
Joe said, we bought family members cars. No, they don't know us until they need money. The ATM is cut off to family that try to use us. Sorry.
Man,
No comments.
we got
But
stories.
I understand. And don't get me wrong. I think that I believe this spiritually, that if God allows you to be someone that is extremely financially stable, that you are a blessing to someone. But I don't believe that God wants us to enable people and to squander our money. And oftentimes, and we've talked about this a lot, sometimes your help is not help. Get that, catch that. Sometimes you helping somebody financially is not helping them. And so that's wisdom and discernment for you to be able to say, okay, it's nothing wrong with you saying, if someone asks to borrow money, hey, how'd you get in this situation? Well, what happened? Or, let's have a discussion. If you can build and help that person do better. And if they don't want to receive it, then they might not need your money. Because ultimately, if someone's in a bind and you help them, but they're not able to continue on the situation and continue to keep thriving, then you wasted your money.
Yep.
So that should be something that I think as wisdom that we should do. We've been on this live for 2 hours.
I was just about to say, we got some money to make. But I will say,
Courtney Harden says, say Mo, I need them teeth, bro. I need that plug. We got it on the page. We got a video on here.
But yeah, I forgot. Yeah, we've been to Colombia also.
Yeah,
But
we got a video on
I don't remember
here.
the presser that I used, that I got. Actually, I gave it to my daughter. So when I went through where she stayed at one time, I was able to press these up while she was there, while I had her bring it to the hotel. So I don't know the exact presser I use. But definitely hit us up on any of our Instagrams, Facebook, Married to the Miles. If you do looking at getting some merch, I can make it all pop. It ain't really nothing to that. Overall, man,
We're definitely doing some
Just-
shifting and some pivoting on the channel.
yes.
Some new things coming. We have some ideas. We definitely want to take y'all with us and y'all be involved with a lot. These conversations need to be real, need to be authentic, no fluff. This is the actual type of content that got us in trucking.
Facts.
So we just want to be that as well and continue to just support the community that supports us.
But on that note, man, we got some bread to make. We want to hold up y'all day. Hopefully y'all out here making some money too, being safe. Remember, you driving your trailer, not your truck. Check the weather wherever you are. Check the surroundings. Get out and look when you need to. When you're backing that truck up, don't feel no kind of way. And just make the best decisions you can while you're out here on the road. The objective is to get back home to your families, to your friends, to your own life. Because we all know that this is a way of life, but trucking is not your life. The objective is to use this, make the money you need to make, and
Right.
get home and enjoy the things that you really enjoy.
Right.
Because that's all you got. We only on this little planet for a blip of time. So maximize as much as you can, live your life the best you can. So do it as safely as possible, and just know why you're doing it. But overall, is trucking
Still
the
worth the
sacrifice
sacrifice.
worth it? With no equivocation,
Yes.
like my boy said on Enemy of the State.
Yes.
It is, without a doubt. But it's all about what you put into it, all about what you're willing to sacrifice, and what means what to you. So
That's
on
a
that
fact.
note, we about to be up out of here, man. I'm trying to think of
Thank y'all
something real
for coming
quick.
over here. We really enjoyed it. If you new to our channel, please hit the like button, subscribe,
Yeah,
and tell somebody else about Married to the Mouse.
yeah. So whether husband or wife,
Whether besties for life,
or you just like what you like,
as long as you're doing it as a team,
you be all right.
you be all right.
This is Married to the Miles, man. Y'all know what it is. Follow us on all our social networks. And keep up, because we on the move. You dig? All right?
Peace.
Peace.